We'll just take questions.
Heard a snippet of your post-game radio show where you said your players learned a valuable lesson that you had hoped they wouldn't have to learn. Can you talk more about what was that lesson that they had to learn?
First and foremost, tip of the cap to Coach Stoudemire and the staff and their players. As coaches, we know how this goes. They lost 2 in a row, not happy. I'm sure their practices were rally the troops type of situations, and they got a team that hadn't lost yet coming into the barn. And we talked till we blew in the face about what would we feel like, what would our practices be like if we were in the same situation. Now we got to go on the road for the first time, in a true road test, and so that was what I was talking about. That I asked them after the game, like, hey, like, what did you notice out there? What did any semi-average guy that understands or lady that understands basketball and competition, what would they say about us first half, second, and play way hard in the second half? And that's my point. Like why? Like we dug ourselves such a hole, and we played much harder in the second half. We played much more, at least on the defensive end, that we were accustomed to and anticipated playing tonight. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure why we got off to the start that we did. Certainly, disrespect to their players and coaches because they did an excellent job. But we didn't play with the same intensity, at the half. And we played harder, but first 11 possessions, you get 5 turnovers, and it's hard to overcome when you got that big of a deficit.
Do you feel that Tech getting a lot of the loose balls, a lot of the loose rebounds played a big role in the outcome tonight?
Absolutely, especially in the second half. We had a little momentum, at least it felt like we did on our bench. We were battling back and playing with a little more intensity, like I said. And I think we had a couple. I'm not into this, but we did have a couple bad breaks where the ball ricocheted off and the bounce didn't go our way. And I believe in that you make your own breaks that way. And we had a couple of them like that where we had the ball, we just didn't squeeze it with 2 that could have led to some runouts and turning the tide, if you will. But definitely that stretch in the second half when we were trying to mount a comeback, and then they basically stiff-armed us, and the loose balls had a big difference in why.
Come.
It seemed maybe from about 8 minutes in, both teams were pretty gassed and started short-arming shots a little bit, and that seemed to kind of maybe kill some of your momentum too in the comeback bid. Do you think maybe just guys were a little gassed trying to make that big comeback after the big hole?
And that happens. That happens. You work your tail off on the other end, and you rebound and run, and then you got to jump up and then shoot the basketball. And we definitely didn't have a very good shooting night. 7 for 30 is not going to win you a lot of games on the road. We had to take a high number of threes, especially down the stretch to try to give ourselves a chance. But listen, I thought Georgia Tech played really, really well. They were well prepared. They took away some things that hadn't been taken away up until this point, and made us search for some different offensive looks. And they just had a great start, and they had momentum, and their confidence grew, and we weren't able to make that comeback that we wanted to.
Questions? Anything else? Okay, Coach, thank you.